World tensions are at an all-time high, especially in this region of the world in Asia. But I don't know if that has anything to do with the reason there are two different alliances, and somebody claims this. Yeah, I think that might have something to do with the tensions, but I don't know. And I think to avoid tensions rising here, they come to an agreement. So guys, welcome to today's video. In today's video, we'll look into a scenario in which we continue our alternate future of the world series. And there's agreements made along this border about a better border. But it's very debated. They don't know if to put it back to what it was or to keep it more like this. So they have a vote. These lands vote to join America to the north of the line I'm drawing. So it doesn't exactly go back to how either side really doesn't benefit completely from this. And there's a vote in Florida to see if they want to join back to America. With America's economy doing much better than theirs, and their economy starting to fail, they vote to join. With Canada basically stating, yeah, America, I guess that worked. But the people in my lands are just happy that they get free healthcare, so they don't want to join back to you. Okay, that makes sense, Canada. Actually makes a lot of sense. Okay, why am I pretending to be countries now? I think I may have went crazy. Germany asking Bavaria for lands, but somebody at the name of Poland is just chilling. But they do have a big border dispute with Russia. But there's nothing they can do because this alliance is too strong. With France saying, yeah, we're going to annex the Rhineland. I'm starting to send annexation forces in and saying that it's time to annex. With Germany having still be democratic with no dictators coming, do this. And they kick them out. With them now ready to have a vote to join the World Treaty Organization, where the people of thus, Germany decide the best way to protect itself from a dictator embarrassing them is to join this world. And they agree to that. And Bavaria is like neutral Switzerland and Austria, chilling. And let's go to Africa, where the West African Union has a few problems with some countries such as Mauritania, Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, and Senegal, and well, nobody else leaves, stating this is not legal, basically, as they declare war on them, saying they broke the Constitution, which causes them to get completely kicked out of the alliance. But they don't care. With popularity of the government in the West African Union dropping significantly. With the Nigerians thinking of whether they should intervene or not with a referendum being held. Well, a lot of countries with sanctions being put on them, which hurts their economy badly. Just as bad as Russia's economies in our world gets harmed. Them placing embargoes on products, even price caps on exports. So yeah, that's just great for the West African Union. But they don't care. They keep advancing in. So the World Treaty Organization decides to support them along with the Pacific Pact, but the Turkic Pact decides to support the Red Team, which now has us in a Cold War-like scenario. Although the World Treaty Organization isn't really ready for any conflict, any large-scale conflict. They don't think, so they push with this happening. But this is where a rebel group rises up in Cote d'Ivoire in Gambia. Oh, wait. No. In Cote d'Ivoire, they rise up against the government, which is a success. And then another place they rise up in a successful move. Benin and Togo, and they team up. And then we have Ghana taking its independence. And yeah, guys, keep in mind this may not be completely best border. With the West African Union on the brink of a civil war, they continue their aggressive policies. With them doing this, but now these 4 rebel groups decide to team up in the one big group. They use this blue because they like it, I guess. The West African Federation having to withdraw its troops. But they quickly figure out these forces are supported by someone. Within Mali, they just declare their own independence. Yeah. With forces fighting for the West African Union. In one sec, guys, I might have not been using my mic. If you can't hear me easily, so that's just good. With Mali saying that once I win this war, they will take back the lands that tried to succeed. With them making it to the coast. And trying to wipe out these forces. But for some reason, Western support continues. With even an American peace-forcing force coming in. And why did this war break out, guys? Well, probably mentioned, and I forgot about it. This is to lead to the lore of the series, right? Well, a dictator was elected, and a lot of people dislike that dictator. Yeah, I forgot about the dictator part. Or hey, they just wanted to expand. Actually, there's no dictator. Yeah, there was also a dictator. That's why these countries over here declared independence. And the war ends with peace being negotiated on. But Mali doesn't lose land. Well, it did lose a lot of land, but Mali didn't. The West African Federation has completely collapsed, and this is a shock to the world. Because this kept coming back. And now it's gone again. But Mali doesn't care. They gained land, so it's not going to kill them. But quickly, a tension rises on this border after, well, supposedly, according to Indian forces that were stationed on China's border in East Turkestan was shot at. And they use this as a casus belli they developed through this for them to declare war along with this guy, because it's their ally, East Turkestan. But everybody knows this is a hoax that never actually happened. That the Pacific Organization taking matters into their own hands, right? And declaring war, everyone in it declares war on India. But India should be the most populous country at this point. Maybe Nigeria has taken it. Yeah, Nigeria would have probably taken this. Isn't this crazy how this just happened? But it looks like Russia's thinking of taking advantage in a few big border disputes they have, as is heard from the leader who wants to do that. For some reason, if they find out this was a lie quickly. How do they find out they lied about being attacked? Because if they got attacked there, they would be attacking there, but instead their troops sneak in here. With units being sent in, these are just units. Of one big battle breaking out over Thailand as the Indian forces cross. With it being seen to be an invasion. But there's only one problem with this invasion. Could be the end of China as we know it again. And yeah, this wouldn't be good, would it, guys? If China ended again, would it, guys? No. And now look as they cross in multiple fronts. And they're walking through the desert in some lands even. What are they, fighting with camels? That was a joke, guys, just to let you know. And yeah. But as this is happening, somebody, Russia, decides to declare war, but for some reason, somebody in Poland gets elected leader, and they decide to transform Poland into a better country as they see fit. And them saying that their lands taken by Russia were unlawful, which is true. With Russian forces crossing into Yakutsk, and they cross into here. With them claiming that this aggression by them is a legal justification for Russia to invade. With a lot of people disagreeing, but they don't get kicked out of the Union for some reason. But this is until they say to Russia, you need to stop this now. And Russia says no. And they start sweeping their campaign, as other campaigns in this war aren't going so well for anyone. But Russia gets a good off campaign, with China using mass conscription as a weapon, and them trying to conscript most of their people, as many people as they can. With Russia joining their side after they are attacked by this union. But with Russia telling, with the West basically saying to Russia, well, we will give you supplies. Why only supplies, you may ask? But this has to do with the fact that Russia agrees that what they did provoked this into happening. Why would they agree with that? Because they know there's no denying it. With Poland getting a dictator, Russia is on a tightrope. But what I'm saying to China, you can have all of East Turkestan back. With this diverting Mongol forces, and a lot of forces that were helping, like East Turkestan's forces, and This is around where the conscription started working off, so keep in mind, they weren't the strongest of this alliance. Having succeeded in this front, kicking them out, but they only succeeded fast because they weren't well equipped, because there wasn't much Russian forces in this region when they attacked, so that allowed a fast kick out. But it doesn't really keep a fast kick out here, with them slowly going into the Caucasus Mountains, seeping in, even making it into Iran. With many countries thinking this is probably the end of this Turkish country. With India fully mobilized too, but it's a bit late for that. As China and Russia are starting to take out Mongolia. And why are they doing so well? Because they are. The front is going to disappear. With Kazakhstan's country in shambles now. This alliance was stronger, but they got too much nations on them now with Russia from the north. They weren't expecting Russia to get involved. They had the advantage, but then Russia got involved. And the seasons are starting to change towards bad time of year to fight. With most of the fighting being able to take out here, but where India continues one offense. They continue their offensive here. Why can they continue it here? Because they can, with them moving into north of Vietnam. Because how do you invade Vietnam? You can't. They invade some of the areas of Vietnam. You can. But they can't get any further south. They try to continue this advance. They get onto China's coast, basically, but they don't get much further. And well, China sends some forces to here, to wean India off of here. With them thinking this will hurt their supplies, but they are wrong. But they do manage to do something. And that is this. And they get all the way to Bhutan. It looks like it might be the end of a unified India. Which it probably will be. Looking like there'll be an Indian civil war coming up. With Russia's offense in the Kazakhstan going really well as they near the capital. As they move down south and they get to their capital, Astana, which they take. Unless you're like Russia, which probably moved its capital. With the northern region falling and Kazakhstan now unable to supply anyone as their government has disappeared. With Kazakhstan looking very close on the edge of capitulation, they were fighting with East Turkestan also on the brink of capitulation. With Chinese and Russian forces now making a unified front. With India in shambles as they move into Kashmir. With Turkmenistan, Turkmenistan is dead. That's Uzbekistan. Why would I say Turkmenistan? With a front being stable here, a lot see this as the end of Indian dominance. This region of the world, Central Asia, being in shambles, but this is what's held back. It looks like peace is getting close, but India has to move some forces out of these regions, which gets them pushed back in the south. Because they decide to take in this front. They take their forces from. which didn't work because they managed to do this. With India in the brink of collapse, they continue fighting for some reason. They're looking like Russia's war in Central Asia is good, with them even taking Delhi. And this is where all these members meet for peace. And while this peace treaty doesn't really work because this happens, they wait till Russia is ready for peace. But if you think of it, are they really ready for peace? No. But they go to peace, and peace is met. They meet in Turkey's capital city, but this is the first talk of peace, which fails miserably. Which leads to some more fighting, especially in Crimea. Call it the Ukrainian War, because it's fought over Ukrainian lands. With Russia now having problems. Them narrowly missing problems as protests break out in their country over this war and calling it a misuse of forces, which keeps happening. But then they start making an offensive, pushing them back, pushing the Turkic forces back, with Crimea leading to a humongous fight. Which leads to the slow pullback of Turkish forces. And I'm going to meet in Ankara, it said. Yep. We will meet you in Ankara. Which Turkey says, what? Turkey doesn't know what they mean. But Iran has already moved to ceasefire land. And India's at a ceasefire, but Turkey isn't. With them saying we will meet you in the for Turkey as they move into Istanbul. And they say, let's meet in a few days in Istanbul. We'll meet and there will be peace. With them landing here and saying we'll meet in Ankara for peace as they take Ankara. And somehow the Russian leader was there, and the Russian leader meets, and peace is signed between all of the members. Fine. But there's still some peace treaties to be signed, with this relatively leaving Russia to leave this war. But Russia is going to occupy Istanbul area, which they will call Constantinople again. Again, it's called that, really? Again. And yeah, with them even going as far as to completely occupy it. And they occupy the ocean, guys. And the alliance that was made is completely disbanded. And quickly after it's disbanded, somebody overthrows the pro-Turkic government in, well, Saudi Arabia successfully. And, well, the Treaty of Beijing is now Asian War, right, guys? The Asian War is over. And Asian tensions are pretty much gone, they said, until Iran decides to illegally invade India. Which, to no way's detriment or surprise, does Afghanistan join to help them. But this Iran is still a good Iran, but not like Saudi Arabia, which is turning on people. They have been starting to blame Turkey for the collapse of their empire. With them moving into Kashmir trying to take their capital. some places start getting more aggressive. With Iran trying to reestablish itself as a regional power. With India starting to repel some attacks in the north. Via someone's help. I don't know who's helping them. But it looks very Western. But Russia is staying pretty neutral. Despite not being neutral. But they're looking like the end of the United India is coming soon. With them diving towards Delhi. And then encircling Delhi. What a shock. And yeah, if they take Delhi. And India, like everyone, when they lose their capital, goes... Not necessarily do countries collapse when they lose their capital, but often in this series they do. With them meeting in Iran for peace. To decide that they want the Pashtun lands, but this leads to a bit of a border dispute, with both sides claiming it. But who has the leverage? Well, I would say Afghanistan should have it. But the dispute continues. And it doesn't get that much, it doesn't even get worse, despite this happening. I just realized I may have just gave China more lands than they were supposed to get. Yes, guys, I just definitely did during this. But Saudi Arabia decides it's going to recreate an Arab Union. With them basically declaring war on all their neighbors, who basically were demilitarized after the war. The northern ones were demilitarized, but Israel has had a sparked interest in joining the World Treaty Organization before this war's begun. Them even taking out Qatar first. But this is a smart strategy they're using. They're using some of the most modern weapons of this time they're in. Which is like 2200, so I'd say it'd be really good. Unless we have no future. Ooh. You know, maybe the Mayans weren't wrong about 2012. You never know what 2012 is. Don't even know what calendar they used. So yeah. Attack on Israel continues to commemorate. When they're going to a success. Almost to a success. But then they cross north. Into making their Arab Federation. Looking like they're going to start south of Kurdistan, though. Kazakhstan. Yep, that's what they just took. Yeah. Well. But there's only one problem. Who knows what year it actually is? We don't, do we? Isn't it technically like year 5 billion? Do we actually know what year it is my biggest question. Do we really know what year it is? This is where this gets a bit weird. Do we really know what year it is? With them pushing into Turkey. And this Arab Confederation even taking Palestine. So I guess Palestine is back. Great. Going. And this video is about to. With Saudi Arabia winning this war and everybody capitulating. Yeah, capitulate, and stronger. Many countries don't agree with us. But Poland is turning on Russia. And that's pretty much all for today's video. Please like and subscribe. While at the end of this video, I also see that somebody is headed for a civil war. That may be Grand Columbia. Who knows? And I would like to take a moment to say I hope we are at 127 subscribers. I don't know if we'll get our goal 175 by February 1st, but next month's goal will be 225. Yeah, an erratic goal. How about, wait, no, it's 28 months. How about 200 is our goal for March 1st? And yeah, but for February 1st, 175. So please like and subscribe if you want us to hit there. That would mean a lot, so please like and subscribe. That's all for today's video, really much. So please like, subscribe, and comment. That's all for today's video. Wild Mapper, out!